host, Alanna. And today we're going to be reading two things, a newsletter and a story. And on this newsletter, there are 3 questions. It's due on in 1 week. So next Sunday, you should have put in an answer for these 3 questions on the bottom of the video. Yes. Okay, so there's a memory verse, the Bible memory verse on here. It says, "We shall not all sleep, but we shall be changed in a moment, in a twinkling of an eye, at the last trumpet." Now, we're going to be going on the 3 questions. Number 1, will we know when Jesus is coming back? Number 2, what will Jesus' return look like? And number 3, what should we do to be ready for Jesus' return? Those are the 3 questions. Okay. Now we're going to be reading our story for today. It's called The Fiery Furnace. King Nebuchadnezzar was at it again. This time he had a giant statue set up in the plain of Dura in the province of Babylon. It was made of gold and taller than a 9-story building. King Nebuchadnezzar called all his royal officials and satraps and prefects and magistrates, the treasurers, judges, and counselors, and all the officials of the province to come to dedication of the golden statue King Nebuchadnezzar has set up in the plain of Dura. A herald announced in a loud voice, "People, all nations, races, and languages, when you hear a sound of the horn, the pipe, the lyre, the triangon, the drum, and all the musical instruments, you are commanded to bow down and worship the golden statue of King Nebuchadnezzar has set up in the plain of Dura. Whoever hears the sound of the horn, the pipe, the lyre, the triangon, and drum, and all the musical instruments, and does not fall down and worship the golden statue that King Nebuchadnezzar has set up in the plain of Dura, they shall be thrown in the fiery furnace." And so, as soon as they heard the sound of the horn, the pipe, the lyre, the triangon, the drum, and all the musical instruments, the people, all nations, races, and languages, fell down and worshipped the golden statue King Nebuchadnezzar has set up in the plain of Dura. All except Daniel, Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah. They worshipped God only. One day under the hot sun, the king's magicians, suckers, and sorcerers, and wise men saw that Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego did not fall down and worship the golden statue. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego were the Babylonian names King Nebuchadnezzar has given Hannah, Mishael, and area. They were jealous of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego because they knew that God was with them. This was a perfect chance to get rid of them. Magicians, sorcerers, and wise men reported the king. They said, "Oh, great mighty king, may you live forever. You have made a decree that whenever people all over the nations, races, and languages hear the sound of the horn, the pipe, the lyre, the triangle, and drum, and all the musical instruments, they are all fall down to worship the golden statue you have set up in the plain of Dura. And whoever hears the sound of the horn, the pipe, the lyre, the triangle, and the drum, and all of the musical instruments, and does not fall down and worship the golden statue, you have to set up the plain of Dura shall be thrown in the fiery furnace." "Yes, this is so," said the king. "Your Majesty," said the magicians, sorcerers, and wise men, "Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego do not worship the golden statue. You have to set up in the plain of Dura." King Nebuchadnezzar flew into a rage. He ordered Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego be brought immediately before him. The king bellowed, "Is this true, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, that when you heard the sound, when you heard the sound of the horn, the pipe, the lyre, and the triangle, and drum, and all of the musical instruments, you did not fall down and worship the golden statue I have set up the plain of Dura? Listen to me. When you hear the sound of the horn, the pipe, the lyre, the triangle, and the drum, and all of the musical instruments, if you do not fall down and worship the golden statue I have to set up in the plain of Dura, you shall be thrown in the fiery furnace. Who do you think can save you?" "The God in heaven can save us," answered Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. "His power is greater than yours, and he can save us from your fiery furnace. But even if he chooses not to save us, we will not worship your God or bow down before the golden statue you have set up in the plain of Dura." The king's face turned red and angry. He ordered his men to heat the furnace 7 times hotter than even before. And then he ordered his strongest men to tie up Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. When the fiery furnace was blazed 7 times hotter than even before, the king's men tied up Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego in their shirts, their robes, and their caps, and all, and threw them into the fire. The fire was so hot, it burned up the mighty men who threw Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego into it. Suddenly, King Nebuchadnezzar leaped to his feet. "Didn't we tie up 3 men and throw them into the blazing fire?" he asked his magicians, sorcerers, and wise men. "Yes, we did," said the magicians, sorcerers, and wise men. "Then why do I see 4 men walking around the fire?" The king said, "They are not tied up, and they are not hurt, and one of them looks like a god." Well, it was God. As a matter of fact, the one true God. So King Nebuchadnezzar went to the door of the fiery furnace and called out, "Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, servants of the one true God, come out." Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego stepped out of the fiery furnace. The magicians, sorcerers, and wise men gathered all around them in complete amazement. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego were not hurt by the fire in any way. Their hair was not singed, and their clothes were not burned. There wasn't even a smell of smoke on them. King Nebuchadnezzar said, Praise the God for Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. He has sent his angel and rescued the men who served him so faithfully. They disobeyed my orders and did not fall down and worship the golden statue I have set up in the plain of Duro. They risked their lives. They would not worship any other god except their God, and their God has saved them. And then King Nebuchadnezzar commanded, Listen, people of all nations, races, and languages. Whoever speaks disrespectfully to the God of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego shall be torn limb from limb, and their houses will be made a pile of ruins. You didn't want to mess with King Nebuchadnezzar. There is no God who can save like the God of Shadrach, Meshach, Abednego. There is no God who could save like the God of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. Thank you for coming to my show, and comment down and subscribe to our channel and comment down below what you liked about this. And remember that 3 questions you have to answer in 1 week. The next Sunday, I'll be seeing your guys' answers on the bottom of the comment section. And the 3 questions are, will we know when Jesus is coming back? Number 2, what will Jesus' return look like? And number 3 is, what should we do to be ready for Jesus' return? Thank you for coming to CBN Live, and I hope you like this show, and bye. Make sure you subscribe and comment down below.